Honorable Minister of Information and Technology for Malawi, the President of ICT Association of Malawi, our CEO from Chamber of Commerce, I recognize you, Ms. Deze Kambarame, the CEO for Standard Bank, Mr. Mandika, I recognize you, the CEO for NBS Bank, the CEO for Sky Energy, and all CEOs that have come to join and celebrate with us. Thank you very much. Today is not just your normal day. If I was Mr. Ndipita, I would have said also, take photos. We should not leave this to the choir runs, because every Saturday we've got people around outside here taking videos and photos. And most of the time they'll be coming at the gate and asking the guards to say, can we go inside and take some more photos? So you guys, since we're here already, all I can say is take photos. Honorable Minister, I'm deeply honored to extend my sincere gratitude today to the colleagues, industry captains, and everyone that has come to celebrate this with us at the invitation of the launch of the Sparc complex. This has been years in making. With so many difficult things. I think some of them we've shown on the documentary there. And when I was explaining some of the things, I didn't know that there would be a nice documentary coming up. But the people from the marketing, they were like, no, let's try to document some of the things that are being done. Because in their thinking is, I think as a country, there have been people that have been exceptional, but we don't document our stuff. And at the end of it, the stories are the same story that end up coming up and saying, oh, Malawi is a poor nation, there is COVID, oh, there is HIV, and so many things. I remember yesterday, we worked a bit late with the team. And when I was coming out, I met my team from Zambia at the reception day. So I was telling some of them and say, we're a poor nation. And she responded and said, we don't get the poor vibes here. Please, from today, Malawi is no longer poor. So maybe you're no longer poor, but these are some of the things that we've done. Honorable Minister, I'm fully aware of the demands of your time and considerable responsibilities. And your presence here today is a clear demonstration of your dedication for advancing of ICT sector and the private sector, not only in Malawi, but across Africa. Sparc is a brand that started in Blantyre. And over the years, now we're at the 11 years. So I would say it's been an exponential growth. Coming from Blantyre, opening in Lilongwe, then we went into Kigali in Rwanda. Then we've opened in Zambia, 2 offices, one in Lusaka, one in Kitwe. But within these 3 countries, we've been exporting services and supporting 10 countries in Africa. We bought clients in DRC, in Burkina Faso, in Burundi, Mozambique, Tanzania. We've got clients in so many countries. But most of these, they're coming to us because they're trying to promote and see the value in local skills. So this is something that we've done as Sparc, which we're proud of. And for example, in Malawi, most of the banking systems, they will have one of the solutions that has been done by Sparc. The telecom companies, you'll find that they will still have some of the solutions that have been done by Sparc, by our own engineers. The NGOs, insurance companies, we've done a lot of solutions. And there have been questions where people would ask and say, Mapanga chani when you go in as a Sparc. Of course, I was telling my team that we have to do another documentary which should be about Sparc as a brand, which we've done, but it will be for another time. But there are these questions that need to be answered. And yes, there are people that are getting motivated by the building, but Sparc is just more than the building. You're looking at some of the things that we're mentioning there that we've done under the building. So it means this building actually is more than the building. I remember there was this guy that called me from South Africa at some point and said, your building is not a building, it's the work of art. So I would want to be part of that story. So I said, I'm sorry, the skills that you bring on the table, I already have people on the ground that they can do. So unfortunately, I will not be able to call you, because that means more runs to go outside. That's what we've been thinking as a company. This building, as it's been said, I think the MC has also mentioned a number of things that we've incorporated. We've looked much into the access control systems. Like I said, we've got the data center within the building. And there were some questions that were being asked. Actually, just some weeks ago, I had a high-power delegation coming and asking us and saying, why can't you build in Blantyre? You had your head office in Blantyre, and now you're putting things in the wrong way. So maybe to explain a bit, the reason we decided to put this building here, there were two things. One is I wanted to put up a better office because the brand was growing. I think if you look at it to say within 11 years, we're talking about this office, whereby it's one of the kind. There are very few ICT companies or just companies that are owning buildings in city center. So at that point, I wanted, like, can we put a structure that will not only look at Malawi, but Africa, and create us as an innovation hub. But at the same time, we needed to put a data center. So I know Kwanere would agree with me that most of the private sector is in Blantyre, and we're dealing a lot of stuff with them. They've got their own data center there. So it meant if we build in Blantyre, they will be looking at us and say, this guy is now a competitor. That's why we now said, okay, can we put this in Irongo? If you talk about the Basel II requirements, the disaster recovery has to be these kilometers away. So now we had two projects to do, the data center as well as the office complex. That's why we decided to put this in Irongo. So for those that are complaining in Blantyre that we've forsaken you, we haven't. It was just a matter of what was supposed to be done, but the other projects that we're looking at. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, within these walls, we envision a vibrant ecosystem of startups, established enterprises, and thought leaders working together to push boundaries of what we believe is possible. We believe that by bringing together diverse talents and perspective, we can innovate and create value for the community, our industry, our nation, and the continent. We've reserved part of the floor just to look at innovations, statistics, and many more, and even help startups to come up. So at the end of this, we're not looking at only Sparc going forward. We're looking at, can we promote others? Can we promote solutions that will be coming out of Africa rather than importing solutions from outside? That's what we envision as Sparc Systems. The journey to reach this remarkable milestone has been nothing short of extraordinary. It's been a path filled with challenges, triumphs, preservations, and innovations. From the initial inception of this project, this grand opening, we have encountered numerous hurdles. But it's through unwavering dedication of our team, the support of our partners, and the belief in our vision that we stand here today. The journey has strengthened our resolve as Sparc Systems, honored our capabilities, and solidified our commitment to create a lasting impact on technology. From the beginning of the project, like I said, we decided to say we'll be using the local skills. And I'm happy to say today, this hasn't been just some lip service. We've got part of the team that have done this job here. They are Malawians. And if you can ask them, I remember at some point, we were even discussing that you guys should pay fees. Because you've rented a road from here. You are now experts on other projects. Maybe I should be getting commissioned by the end of the year. William remembers this conversation. At the end of it, if we sit down and say, the locals cannot do it, but what are you doing to support them? They need some way as a launching pad to move forward. So it should not just be saying, I know from the government side, there are those discussions where they say 60% of the business should remain local. It's a good concept, but is it being enforced? We should be looking at it and say, can we push for this? We've put it already on paper. Can we make it happen? In the event that we don't have the skills, we've shown it how it's supposed to be done. Make them sign contracts to partner with the locals. That's what this Sparc envisions. And I should say at this point, most of the times, when people come here, I've heard this a number of times. Actually, there is another company that came, I will not mention their name, So we had a discussion. They were not from here. After the discussion, then one guy asked to say, so you are the project manager? So I said, no, I'm the project owner. Then the conversation changed. And then they sent people to go and investigate if this really is our land or our project, which was done. And yes, it's our land and our project. Then the conversation changes again and said, no, we're not coming in. We just want to buy the project. We want to buy the building. Why would someone want to buy the building? It's all because the narrative is now different. The narrative is no longer Malawi is a poor country. Malawi cannot do this. The narrative now is there are other projects that people are pushing and they're able to showcase and say this is the thing that they're doing. I would say at this point, this project has helped us. On average, we've created over 1,000 jobs at this project. There have been times where we would have 400, 500 people here. There are times where we've had people that have had their livelihood here. But one thing that I should also mention is we've really pushed for the skills to be done locally. Now, at the end of the project, you've got all these people that are skilled, but they've got nowhere else to go. At some point, I was talking to the guy that looks after Activator to say maybe you can look at certifying some of the people that are doing these jobs. If you've got someone that has done aluminium cladding, you should be able to certify, because I think that's where we've got a problem. I've seen people that have come here and done part of the work that they were teaching our guys. They didn't have degrees. But on their side, they've got this small certification that will say, no, I'm able to do this aluminium cladding. If you want to export the skills, these are part of the things that we should be looking at. Today, we're happy to showcase this facility that holds particular significance to the youth, who are the future leaders and innovators of tomorrow. By providing them with state-of-the-art technologies, resources, and mentorship, we aim to empower them to dream big, think critically, and innovate fearlessly. This complex will serve as a launch pad for ideas, a place where they can turn their visions into abilities. As Sparc, we've done a number of things to promote others. You might be aware of some of the projects that we've been doing. Girls in ICT, and so many other projects. We're looking to go beyond that. We're looking now to mentor entrepreneurs. We're looking to mentor the future innovators. There are a number of things. I've been asked this before at some point to say, building you say, Kumarawi, muzitani nayo. We're looking beyond what is achievable or what has been defined as achievable by Malawians. And I should say, the technologies that we've put in the building are aligned to our agendas as a country, which is the Vision 2063, and the Africa Agenda. By promoting innovation and technology advancement, we are supporting the nation's strategic agendas, which talks about industrialization, inclusive wealth, and sustainable economic growth. We believe that this facility will act as a catalyst for achieving these long-term aspirations, ensuring that Malawi and Africa as a whole remain competitive on the global market. Additionally, this complex supports the government ambitions by providing a platform for businesses to thrive. It creates a space where businesses can produce cutting-edge technologies and collaborate with like-minded people. As we embark on this journey, we encourage all businesses to embrace the spirit of innovation and collaborations. We would want us all to work together. But again, I'll be doing injustice if we don't look at some of the things that we've met. Those are some of the things that we would expect if someone else tomorrow is doing a similar project, they should not start from where we're starting from. And I should say, as Sparc, we're looking at a number of other projects. And we believe if we're able to solve some of the issues that we've met here, it would really help us to move forward. Honorable Minister, I think when you're going in, there is a portrait there, which is of my mom. So at some point when I was at the third floor, we're building at the third floor, my mom realized that I was not staying in Malawi most of the times. So she would go and say, okay, how are things and whatever. So you know the sixth sense. So I told her, I said, we're really having serious issues. I think that project, if I had known, I would not have done. I would have moved it to Zambia. I don't want to go into the specifics, but the issues that will really move you down. And we've seen this is so many times where things come many and amara support. So when you're doing this type of projects, just look at it when you're doing a house, the headaches that you normally meet. So now you're looking at this type of a project. So she mentioned some words that I ended up putting them there. She passed on some 3 years ago, and I've kept those words to myself. Then I had to share it to you. Of course, she talked in Chinkonda and Tumbuka, which I know you guys will not understand, so I had to convert it in English. But the whole point was, my son, from the beginning, you've always put your right in the open for all to see. Don't cover it now. Because there are others that will depend on your right to see their own path. Not for to see your path, but their own path. That way has been with me up to today. That's why when she passed on, I had to remember her and put her there. So when you look at these structures, there are some things that we have to look at. I think there are some policies that have been defined, especially tourism. So if you're building a hotel, there are these waivers that are normally coming. But when you're talking about ICT, these structures, there are no waivers. And this is not specific to say, okay, maybe some of you might quote me wrong and say, government didn't do this. It's not this government alone, because this structure has been done over 2 governments, previous and current one. So meaning that these are policies which has to be looked at. We went before and asked for the waivers, brought all these documents, none that we've received. Current one, we went again, none that we've received. And in the responses, I have some of the responses. You literally see that they're saying if you attend it in a hotel, we would remove and give you waivers. Are we all going to be building hotels? We should be looking at technologically. Data is the new oil. Data is where technology is going. Nowadays, if you're looking at the money that the likes of, say, Apple, Google are making, they are bigger than our economies. That's where we should be going. As Sparc, you might be asking to say, what are you guys doing to be able to do this? We've been exporting services. It's just the skills. So I'm pushing this to you, our minister, because I think we might want to look also at these other policies that should be able to help us, especially in the ICT. So it's no longer to say, okay, this government or that government. No, it's our policies that we might want to look at and say, can we do it more? Because at the same time, we've been going out and promoting the foreign investors to come here. What about us, the local investors? Those are some of the things that we should be looking at. But today is not just a day that we would want to look back and say, okay, let's complain about this. Today is the day of celebrations. It's the day where we stand up and say we've achieved something. It's the day where, ideally, if we had a razor blade, we're removing everything that people were saying, okay, this cannot be done. We've done it. So it's a very joyful day. And I would want to thank all the team members that have helped me. Of course, starting with my mom, I've already mentioned there, and my wife's tower. When you're looking at the colors there, you know, some colors you need women to help, yeah? Someone was posting on Facebook and say, why is it the only guy who knows charcoal gray? I don't know charcoal gray. I had to consult. And of course, all the contractors that have helped us. You've seen how the building has been done internally. There are some contractors that have helped us. I think Miraz Interior did part of the interiors. Vanessa also did the restaurant. So if the restaurant is nice, all the people are here. I've got my structural engineer. He would always come and say, no, I'm doing a cantilever design. So I'm an engineer, I would understand. You might not understand. So I've got all these teams that have helped us, which we should thank them that today we've got this structure that we have. I should also thank my team from Zambia, from Rwanda, that have come here. It's because of you guys that we sitting here and celebrating today. There have been times where I would have these headaches and it disappear a bit, but the team has always been there, pushing for business and making us get what we've gotten today. So I will say to my team, thank you very much for your tireless efforts, which have made us reach where we've reached today. Cheers to this, cheers to more success. I can assure you that Sparc Systems will see the future as very bright. Very soon we're looking at a number of other projects. We're looking at state-of-the-art training center in Lusaka. Actually, we were supposed to have the ICT Association of Zambia president. He just missed his flight, so he'll be coming a bit later today. We're looking at other facilities that will be coming up by early next year in Branta. But the team in Branta now is complaining to say, you've moved the head office, what about us? And all these offices, they're all moving to Lilongwe. We're going back to Branta. We're also looking at our customers in Mozambique and Tanzania, where we've won a number of businesses. So next year, we're also looking at opening in these countries. Now physical office, not just working remotely. So as a brand, I think this is something that we have to celebrate. It's an achievement that we've all achieved. It's a milestone that has been done collectively by all the people that have been involved. In closing, let us celebrate this milestone with pride and optimism. Let us look to the future with confidence, knowing that we've got the tools and the talents and the determination to achieve the greater things. Together, we can harness the power of technology to build a better future for the world. Thank you very much. Congratulations to everyone that have been involved and all of you that have come to celebrate with us. At this point, before the Honorable Minister come in front, I just wanted to ask if we can just have a few remarks from the ICT Association of Malawi. I know you are my president. I'm emeritus now, so maybe you might have some few remarks. Thank you very much.